Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is about to try and stay awake for as long as humanly possible. No naps, no microsleeps, nothing. You've pulled an all-nighter before. You know the feeling the next morning. Heavy eyes, slow thoughts. A coffee that doesn't quite fix it. That's one night. This video is about what happens if you keep going. Hour by hour. Day by day. Because the timeline is not what most people expect. And somewhere around day 4, your own brain starts doing something that sounds like science fiction, but is medically documented and completely real. Let's start the clock. Hour 16. The first cracks. Hour 16. This is where it actually begins. Earlier than almost anyone thinks. You've been awake since this morning. By tonight, your hand-eye coordination is already measurably worse. Your judgment is slower. Your mood has quietly soured without an obvious reason. None of this feels dramatic yet. It just feels like a long day. But your brain doesn't see it that way. Somewhere around this point, certain regions of your brain are already trying to steal moments of sleep without telling you. Tiny lapses lasting a fraction of a second, where part of your brain simply switches off and back on. You won't notice most of them. You'll just feel a little foggier than you can explain. Hour 24. One full day. 24 hours. One full day with zero sleep. At this point, your cognitive performance has dropped by roughly a quarter compared to a normal rested version of you. Your stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, spike. Your body's attempt to manufacture energy it no longer has naturally. Researchers comparing sleep deprivation to alcohol intoxication have found that staying awake this long impairs you to a similar degree as already having had several drinks. You're not drunk, but your brain is responding to the world the way a brain does after a few drinks too many. Reaction time, decision-making, memory, all of it quietly drops, while you insist out loud that you're fine. Day 2, hour 36, the body notices. By hour 36, day 2, this stops being just a mental problem. Your immune system starts working against you instead of for you. Studies have found that people who are sleep deprived can become up to 4 times more likely to catch a common cold because specific proteins your body produces during sleep, proteins that fight inflammation, simply aren't being made. Your blood pressure climbs. Your body temperature actually drops slightly, which sounds harmless, but makes you a noticeably easier target for whatever virus happens to be circulating nearby. This is also where doctors say the physical impact becomes genuinely significant, not just tired, but measurably unhealthy in ways a blood test would catch. Day 3 or 48, when the pumpkin talks back. Day 3, 48 hours. And this is where things stop being merely uncomfortable and start becoming genuinely strange. Hallucinations become common at this point, not vague fuzziness, but specific, vivid ones. One sleep physician has described treating his own sleep deprivation by working through a night shift, only to have a nearby pumpkin start talking to him. He knew in that exact moment it was time to go home. Beyond hallucinations, your behavior at this stage can start to resemble psychosis, incoherent rambling, a disconnection from what's actually happening around you, sudden emotional outbursts that don't match the situation. Your brain, deprived of the one process that lets it clean itself out overnight, is beginning to misfire in ways that look, from the outside, like a completely different person. Day 4 and beyond. The limit. Push past day 4, and you're now in territory that researchers say can become genuinely lethal, though, oddly, not in a way scientists fully understand yet. The exact mechanism that would eventually kill a human who never slept again isn't completely mapped out. The leading theory is that your mind gradually loses its ability to regulate processes that keep you alive, and the longer this goes on, the more your entire system spirals into total disruption. There's even a name researchers use for a mysterious sleep-inducing substance, believed to build up the longer you stay awake, something they've nicknamed Substance S. The documented human record for staying awake is 11 days, held by a person who, remarkably, didn't suffer permanent damage, despite being confused and unsteady by the end. But that record is widely considered close to the absolute edge of what a human body can survive. Lab rats deprived of sleep entirely have died within about 2 weeks, though scientists still debate whether that's from the sleep loss itself or the stress of the experiment forcing it. There's also a vanishingly rare genetic disease called fatal familial insomnia, which causes a person to gradually lose the ability to sleep at all, and it is eventually fatal. Fewer than 100 cases have ever been documented. It is essentially what this entire video has been describing, happening for real, to a tiny number of people with no way to stop it. Here's what's strange about all of this. Sleep doesn't look like it's doing anything. You lie still. Nothing happens from the outside. No movement, no obvious labor, no visible output. It's the one biological process that looks the most like doing absolutely nothing. And it turns out to be one of the only things your body cannot function without. We treat sleep like the most negotiable part of the day. The first thing we cut when we're busy. The thing we brag about sacrificing. But your immune system, your memory, your mood, your blood pressure, your literal sanity, they're all quietly being rebuilt every single night by a process that looks, to anyone watching, exactly like nothing. The thing keeping you alive tonight isn't dramatic. It's just dark and quiet and easy to skip. Right now, somewhere, someone is on hour 40 of an all-nighter, telling themselves they're fine. They are not fine. They just haven't reached the part of the timeline where it becomes obvious yet. You will never consciously remember most of the repair work your brain does while you sleep. You'll just wake up, and somehow everything that was falling apart the night before will have quietly been put back together. Tonight, when you finally lie down and close your eyes, that's not nothing happening. That might be the most important thing that happens to you all day. Slow down. Think a little.